Good morning, everyone. Today we're checking out a brand new video from Karn. That's right, he's finally put out a video that's not talking about the games or anything like that. We're back with a brand new Karn top 10 list. Now then, it's time to see the new Digimon that have breathed his favorite Digivolution lines. That's one way of putting it. Let's go.
It has become a tradition that every 2 years I update you on my top 10 Digimon evolution lines. But believe it or not, this year marks 6 years since I started doing this series. The first, when I first started kind of getting attention for Digimon videos back in 2020, then again 2022, and then 2024, and now, yes, it's 2026. And with Digimon Story Time Stranger, Digimon Liberator, Seekers, Elysian, Digimon Beat Break, and the advent of the Shambhala digital world, there are so many more Digimon.
So, did you actually see the map of the world? It was a yin-yang symbol.
Oh, indulge me if you will, and lock in as I give my objectively correct, just kidding, of course it's subjective, top 10 Digimon evolution lines of 2026.
Let's go. I missed that.
What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn and welcome back to another video, and I cannot believe it is 6 years since I started making this video series. It already being 2 years since the last one is already crazy enough. And here, if you like Digimon content and want to see more every single week, sometimes multiple times a week, make sure you like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. So I'm talking about Digivolution.
Like, comment, and subscribe for more.
Lines, obviously I'm talking about 1 through line. I usually go from Rookie through to Mega, occasionally referencing a baby or in training, but really we're looking at Rookie to Mega here. Obviously, one Digivolution line is not representative of an entire Digimon's potential, with branching Digivolution lines across the franchise, but I like to limit to one Digivolution line because honestly there is a big difference between my top 10 evolution lines and my top 10 Digimon flat. Maybe if there's not much of a difference in my 2028 video, oh my god, that's the next time I'm going to do one of these. We'll do a top 10 Digimon instead. However, evolution lines let me really zero in on the things I like. I do tend to go for evolution lines we've seen in existing media, however at least one of these will be completely custom. I do want to give some honorable mentions to Digimon I love that aren't part of Digivolution lines I love or have just slipped out of the top 10. All this new media, Time Stranger, Beat Break and beyond, has made me appreciate Digimon I love, but had forgotten just how much. Which does mean unfortunately this year Grace Novamon is just an honorable mention. I think honestly I love it more than its constituent parts these days. While I love Lunamon and Coronamon and adore Grace Novamon, I think the in-between evolutions, even including Dianamon and Apollomon, are not some of my favorite Digimon anymore, and really I was holding on to them because of how much I love Lunamon, Coronamon, and Grace Novamon. I also want to give a massive shout out to the Digimon Beat Break evolutions. As of time of recording, we do not have the full evolution lines for Beat Break, so it's really hard to say a full evolution line for them because we haven't got them, and I don't want to do like a homebrewed evolution line for them using existing Digimon. I will say right now, Gekomon and Karotmon are my absolute favorites, but I do also love Kugamon. Less of a fan, honestly, of evolutions like Knight Chiropmon and even Murasamimon, but I do like Armalizamon a decent amount, and Pristimon and Wolvamon are unfortunately at the lower rung of my love for Beat Break Digimon. And then there is Vmon and Raidramon, but another Digimon on the list gets the lion's share of Vmon evos that I love, and I'm just not as big of a fan of a full evolution line for Vmon, instead liking a lot of his armors, like Magnamon, Raidramon, and Flamedramon, as well as even X-Vmon, but like I say, talking Paildramon, I'll get back to you. With that being said, let's start with number 10. And barely holding on to the number 10 spot is Shumon. I adore Shumon. It's one of my favorite Digimon ever created. When I first saw it for Digimon Liberator, it absolutely stole my heart. I think the design is absolutely perfect, really peak Digimon. The thing that makes this tough is that I don't love Shumon, its evolution, as much. The squirrel nut kid on roller skates is fine, but I'm not a massive fan. However, I do adore Chaperomon and Sendrymon, and since I last made this type of video, we now also have the level 7 Nyabootmon. All of these different evolutions for Shumon themed on different fairy tales. And Nyabootmon being a level 7, kind of an ultra, and zigging when we thought they were going to zag, instead of going down the more stereotypical feminine humanoid evolution, we instead get Puss in Boots. It's really, really endearing. So Shumon to Shumon.
We were expecting it to go human before it just took a dive off a cliff back back to a cat.
On to Chaperonemon, to Sendrymon, and then Nyabutsmon is still in my top 10 Digimon evolution lines.
Not bad.
Another Digimon holding on to its spot and hopefully never leaving my top 10 is Pulsemon. Pulsemon. This channel really kicked into gear during the era of the Vital Bracelet. And while we have had Digimon Seekers which kept Pulsemon's relevance a little bit, he definitely was more sidelined. Despite an outing in the TCG, I feel like Pulsemon's representation is getting lower and lower month after month. And while I was never expecting it to be in Time Stranger because it's too recent, I feel like when was the last time we saw like any of its evolutions in anything besides the TCG? For a Digimon that was supposed to be the mascot of the brand new exciting VPAT, which let's be honest, they mismanaged into the dirt, seeing it only show up in the TCG and Seekers and then things like Digimon Dreamers, Recollection, and the Digimon Seekers one-shot manga thing, Wall Slums Nightmare, it's a real shame. I mean, it hasn't even found its way into any video games, not even Digimon New Century in China. I worry for my boy. Wow. Anyway, my evolution line for Pulsemon that I still find to be the most engaging is fairly stereotypical initially, having him digivolve to Bulkmon, which I would say is the kind of default de facto Pulsemon evolution, the big strong
I could agree with that.
However, at this point, I just kind of take the many evolutions of Pulsemon and choose my favorite, even if technically they weren't possible on the Vital Bracelet. However, in this instance, they actually all are possible on the Vital Bracelet, which I'm pretty happy about. I would have my Bulkmon digivolve to my favorite Shark Digimon, Divemon. It's been a great time for Shark Digimon. Obviously, we recently got Sharkmon in Digimon Story Time Stranger. We've got Surfymon historically, but I feel like Divemon is not getting his chance to shine. And now that we have Sharkmon as a Shark Ultimate level, I worry. And then we end the list off not with Kazuchimon or Achillesmon or even Shivamon. No, my favorite Pulsemon Mega remains Shroudmon. The big beefy Oni with the skull gauntlets. This Digimon is so sick. I am frankly livid that its outings are currently so sparse. Literally only one TCG outing in BT16 as of time of recording. No appearances in anime, manga, video games, or VPETs besides the Vital Bracelet. What a slapped on fantastic design that could have done so much more.
Yeah, it's glorious.
Number 8. Well, I did say we were going to see at least one totally custom evolution line in this video, and this is it. And well, of course, the fat guy likes food Digimon. But they're so cute! Digimon Adventure 2020, for whatever other criticisms I might have of it, did introduce the world to Potemon, the little French fry potato champion, surprisingly level Digimon. So really, I wanted to create like a food through line evolution, but weirdly, Digimon like Shortmon, the cake Digimon, are also a champion level. I didn't want to use something predictable, so I thought I'd really go crazy. First of all, Potemon and Burgermon are intrinsically linked through the episode that Potemon debuted in. So I think Burgermon, which is also a very cute little Digimon, digivolving to Potemon is great. In Digimon Adventure 2020, Potemon digivolved to Jagamon, and I get why, you know, smashed potatoes and all that. However, it's not my favorite evolution for him. So I do think it's kind of cool for Potemon to digivolve to Pumpkinmon. Very similar cutesy little boy vibes. And, you know, pumpkins are food. You can eat gourds. Don't know if you knew that. It also introduces more spookiness into the line, which I do like in Digimon, and teases up, of course, perfectly for the Mega to be another slept-on Digimon, Noble Pumpkinmon. I definitely feel sometimes my favorite Digimon are Digimon that are
That would actually be a little strange, though. Goes from a burger to a potato to a pumpkin to a pumpkin king.
Represented. I want to look after them. This thing in me that wants to like look after abandoned cats and dogs. You know, if I had infinite budget, I'd probably run some kind of rescue center. And so when I see a Digimon that isn't getting the treatment it deserves, those tend to be the Digimon I gravitate towards. And once a Digimon does get the treatment it deserves, while it'll remain in my favorites for a while, I can almost let it go and let it be with other people. You know, new people can find them as their favorites. And Noble Pumpkinmon, oh god, it needs better treatment. Now, sure, debuting in Digimon Rearise was great, showing up in a few VPETs like the DMX version 3, the Vital Bracelet, and the Pendulum Color is really good. But no video game, anime, manga outings at all as far as I'm aware, and still nothing in the TCG? What's going on there? On the flip side of this, I guess, are a bunch of Digimon that actually are getting good outings. And so my rule is not hard and fast. Because Digimon Seekers prominently featured the D-Brigade, and now we also have, Digimon Beat Break, Commandramon. Yeah, Commandramon still remains one of my favorite Digimon. However, I will be real, jokes aside, with the whole Tankmon edit meme from years back, I always felt like I was coping a little bit with Sealsdramon and to an extent Tankdramon, though I do like Darkdramon. However, Digimon Seekers absolutely delivered to me, and one of the few things things that I love taking away from Digimon Seekers is my new favorite Commandramon evolution line. Commandramon to High Commandramon to
Obviously.
Cargodramon and then Brigadramon. It's really too soon to say whether we're going to see more outings for these guys.
Honestly, this is actually a pretty damn good line. You got a foot soldier turned commando turned into a transport commando turned into like a special ops.
Or not. I'm very curious to see in Digimon Beat Break now that Commandramon is down to a Bombmon, if it might digivolve differently. But part of me was a little bit disappointed we didn't at least see High Commandramon in Beat Break when Commandramon debuted. However, this evolution line is just fantastic to me. Alright, that is an old favorite, and this is one that honestly has slipped a lot over the years because I think it has gotten good treatment, and that is the standard Bluecomon evolution line. Debuting in the Chinese mobile game Digimon Encounters. Bluecomon was a Digimon I championed for in my early videos because I really thought it was such a cool concept that deserved to be in more stuff, and since then, it has. It's been, of course, in the Pendulum version 20th, the Digital Monster X version 3, and the Vital Bracelet, tons of stuff in the card game for its whole evolution line, and even showing up in the comic and web novel side of Digimon Liberator, as well as the Digimon Seekers Wall Slums Nightmare manga. So the line is very simple. Bluecomon to Paildramon to Chris Paildramon and the goat of Witchelny, Hexablaumon. Part of me does wish that Bluecomon had a bigger role in Liberator, because Shoto and Terramon are connected to Witchelny, the Vortex Warriors, and Magical Witches with Ballaluna and stuff like that, and obviously Hexablaumon is connected to Witchelny too and the water element. While yes, in the web novel side of things, Bluecomon does eventually become kind of the secondary partner of Suzune, I still kind of wish we'd have seen more from it in Liberator itself. However, it's really not an area where I can say that the Bluecomon evolutions are struggling. They're just always going to be the goats to me. Alright, we're halfway through, down to number 5. You want to take a guess? One of my favorite Digimon of all time. I always loved it since I saw Digimon Tamers, Lopmon. And no, Terriermon is not in my top 10. So, yes, I adore Lopmon, my little chocolate bunny. Absolutely adorable. And while I've always liked Wendymon and Cherubimon, they're definitely not favorites. I've always much preferred Lopmon digivolving to Teruimon, which I first discovered could even happen on my D-Terminal toy as a kid. Finding out that Lopmon kind of had this much less evil, cooler martial arts version of Gargomon just for it, which instead of using guns, used melee weapons, I thought was so perfect. And Teruimon has showed up in a bunch of stuff now, which is good. But it's definitely my preferred Lopmon evolution. I always view Wendymon as a dark digivolution, much like how it's used in Survive and indeed even in Digimon the movie. I think I slightly prefer the Antilamon Deva, but really it's Antilamon or Antilamon with a scarf, isn't it? It's not that much different. But for the Mega these days, well,
which one do you want? Antilamon or Antilamon?
Like I say, Cherubimon, Vice, and Virtue are fine. They're not favorites. I would personally instead go with Jogamon, the Moon Rabbit Digimon from Digimon New Century, which is still connected to Lopmon via the fact you make it as a fusion with Dianamon and Cherubimon Vice in New Century, but honestly, whether you want to use it as a level 7 for Cherubimon or just put it into Lopmon's evolution line, I think this would look really cool actually as either a Destiny Armor Digivolution or Miracles Armor Digivolution for Lopmon.
Oh, gotta be Destiny.
Or a bio-merge between Lopmon and Suzy in the Tamers continuity. Either way, that's what I go for. Lopmon, Teruimon, Antilamon Deva, and Jogamon. Number 4 is gonna hurt a little, because one of my Digimon that has been in my top 3 for years has been knocked out. I know, I'm sorry, Wormmon. I realize something. Wormmon obviously is not struggling for representation, and I adore Wormmon. It's my favorite.
I was expecting it to be that samurai chick.
Digimon from 02.
No, not chick as in woman, chick as in baby bird.
Absolutely. But what I realized is that all this time, I actually much preferred Leafmon and Minomon, the baby and the in-training. I love Digimon Adventure 02, both the sub and dub's representation of Wormmon as a character. But outside of 02, I am missing that characterization, its interactions between the Digimon Emperor and indeed even with Ken. It's still a top 4 Digimon evolution line of all time. If we were talking just top 10, well, Minomon would definitely rank above it. I adore Minomon. But what keeps it in my top 4 really is my love of Wormmon and Stingmon, but also that Paildramon is probably my favorite ultimate level Digimon of all time. So while you could hybridize the line and also include Vmon and XVmon and bring them together as Paildramon, I always feel like Paildramon is my de facto Wormmon evolution now. And while I do love Jewel Bmon and Bancho Stingmon, for me it's always going to be Wormmon to Stingmon, DNA Digivolve with XVmon to Paildramon, and then Fighter mode. I do like Dragon mode and I do like Paladin mode too, but I just kind of like the heroic line that we've got going on here. But
yeah,
I think Leafmon and Minomon I love more than Wormmon. I think it's also helped by the fact that I have Wormmon now, which Andrew created years back, the ice variant of Wormmon. So I almost have this kind of like little OC, which I love too, alongside Hiraethmon, my mascot Digimon representing Wales. But what Digimon could have possibly risen up the ranks this year specifically to beat Wormmon? Congratulations, Bearmon. You made it, buddy.
Wow.
I have, for as long as this channel has been around, wanted Bearmon to be a more prominent partner outside of like Daigo Nishijima and Rear Eyes, B, complete a traditional evolution line for it, which connects Bearmon, its champion Grismon, to the Mega Kalismon from Digimon V-Tamer. And this year, very mild spoilers for Digimon Story Time Stranger, we finally got that in the Wrestler Digimon Great Grismon. Here's how much I love Great Grismon. I didn't particularly like the Digimon World 3 evolution of Bearmon to Grismon to Grappleomon to Marsmon. I saw how Grappleomon and Marsmon worked, I saw how Bearmon and Grismon worked, and I know Digivolution is free. I'm just a big fan of bears. So are a lot of you guys watching. I see you. So I really wanted to keep a full bear evolution line going, and back in the day, there wasn't a lot of options for that. You had things like Monzaemon, I guess, but that's more of a teddy bear. I wanted the themes of Bearmon and Grismon to keep going. And what's great about Great Grismon is that it works fantastically for Kalismon, but also doesn't eradicate Marsmon from the situation. Admittedly, you can't digivolve Great Grismon to Marsmon in Time Stranger, which feels like a massive oversight. However, visually, it works great as a Marsmon pre-evolution, but also works for Kalismon. This line, Bearmon to Grismon to Great Grismon to Kalismon or Marsmon, represents something that I have wanted for so long and so many others have wanted too. Digimon Team clearly connecting with the fanbase and knowing gaps that we're looking for in Digivolution lines. As we all know, Digivolution is branching, but there is also this anime style, cohesive line, style of evolution that we like too. We get the best of both worlds.
Digivolution is free and anyone can become anything, but we do like keeping a singular line.
And it feels fantastic not only to have Kalismon freed from Digimon V-Tamer jail and incorporated fully into the Bearmon family, but also given this fantastic ultimate level Digimon that doesn't get rid of options like Marsmon either. It only adds, it doesn't subtract. And that's why Bearmon to Grismon to Great Grismon to Kalismon is my top 3 evolution line. But what could make it into the top 2? Well, Digimon Story Time Stranger, you did it again. Going back through this channel, I have wanted to see the return of Hyokomon so badly. And like I say, I always find love for a Digimon when I feel like it's been hard done by, and boy, had Hyokomon been hard done by. Until Digimon Story Time Stranger, Hyokomon had been in 2 video games. Digimon Story Lost Evolution and Digimon Story Supercross Wars Blue and Red. No TCG outings in any version of the card game. No virtual pet outings. No Digimon reference book listing. No official Digimon reference book listing art. And now it's in Digimon Story Time Stranger. I'm not going to spoil storyline stuff of Digimon Story Time Stranger, but I will say this. To see Hyokomon, Baraimon, Butenmon, Chronomon Holy Mode, and Destroy Mode all added to the Digimon reference book this year. Even Chichimon getting
love the look of Destroy Mode
added. Their baby form, which is not in Time Stranger. Being recruitable in Time Stranger, very early on being able to digivolve to Hyokomon. The day I found out that was possible in the Time Stranger demo was world-changing to me. As a Digimon that I have wanted in a 3D Digimon game for years. I wanted to be a partner Digimon for years. So to see how ingrained certain Hyokomon evolutions are in Digimon Story Time Stranger, and bare minimum being able to recruit and evolve into the entire Digivolution line, was so rewarding. And as such, Hyokomon to Baraimon to Butenmon to Chronomon Holy Mode and Destroy Mode, split megas, I don't care. Can't wait to see more of it in the TCG. Hope it shows up in future V-Pets. It would be perfect to integrate into Shambhala. You made it to the big leagues. The full Hyokomon evolution line is my second favorite Digimon evolution line of all time. But
the gold medal.
What could be number 1? No surprise,
Beamon,
is it? My partner Digimon remains Fun Beamon. Trying to call it Fun Beamon now because they've settled on that being the English name over Fan Beamon, although I'm still gonna slip here and there. What is great though is that once again, Digimon Liberator recent media has given us new exposure and new evolutions to the Fun Beamon Digimon Evolution line. I think
Yeah.
I talked about this
Give you
before,
a
but
whole
while
lot,
I love
a whole
Fun
hive.
Beamon, I never really loved Waspmon. Adored Cannon Beamon and kind of thought Tiger Vespamon was okay. Now though, I don't have to compromise on an evolution line because the royal base in Digimon Liberator was added to as the partner of Winner. And those new evolutions were exactly what I was looking for. I now don't have to kind of have a waspish evolution for my Fun Beamon. I can keep him a bee the whole way through with Fun Beamon to Forge Beamon to my beloved Cannon Beamon, and then finally the also new Queen Beamon and her throne mode, as I guess you could call it. This evolution line is perfect and the kind of evolution line I always hoped for my Fun Beamon partner. And yeah, maybe I'd also create custom evolutions if I had my own Fun Beamon for my own project, but for right now, these new members of the royal base are amazing. But that is it, my new top 10 Digimon evolution lines as of right now, March 2026. Going through the evolution lines, especially my top 5, you start to see just how much cool Digimon media we've had in the last couple of years, which has really complemented things I've wanted for a while. Again, I'm obviously not saying that Digimon made these decisions because of me. I think they're a reaction to the fan base, and also just a thing that naturally would have happened. The Hyokomon line being in Time Stranger was likely decided long before I ever even made Digimon videos. That's not what I'm saying. I'm also saying that it's amazing that these parts of the franchise, which I zeroed in on, that you zeroed in on, like needing that gap between Grismon and Kalismon, like wanting to see better representation for Hyokomon, like wanting new evolutions for Fun Beamon. It all came together so beautifully in the last 2 years, and I feel incredibly happy to see it happen. It almost feels like, especially 2025, gave me almost everything I asked for. Again, not specifically for me, it just happened to be that way. So now I almost feel like, okay, yeah, I feel good about this. Everything I want was answered. Question is, what's next? Who do I champion for next? And who in 2028, because we went, oh yeah, it would be cool to see more of these, is going to end up making the top 10. But that's it. Thank you so much to my sovereigns, ZDK14, Chaotic Prophet, Lupus Lichlord, and Jeremy Babineau over on patreon.com/KarnEX. You guys are amazing. Thank you to all my other patrons there too. And my YouTube channel members here on YouTube. You guys are amazing too. Really do appreciate your support. And I'll see you next time when we go to Joel. Bye-bye.
Alright, everyone, that's going to be the end of today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of you next time when we flick back on. Till then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.